Well, it's that time of year again. It's back to school season, and I know a lot of you in my audience are looking for some great deals on some really good laptops or convertible laptops that might be a good choice for the back to school student. Well, HP sent over one recently that I've been testing out for a little bit, and I think it's a great choice for those budget-minded students that are going back to school. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my review of the HP Pavilion x360. Coming up. Want to see more videos like this? Why not hit that subscribe button? I know a lot of you are not getting notified when I'm uploading new videos. I'm not sure what's going on with YouTube. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Hopefully, you will be notified every time I post a new video. Now, because YouTube is unreliable, I would also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll let you know when I post a new video on those platforms as well. And of course, as I always do in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, HP sent this over for my unbiased opinion. I'm not being paid by HP. I'm not being sponsored by HP. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own, and no one is seeing this video before its release. Now, the review unit is on loan from HP, and once this review is done, I am sending it back to HP. And with that out of the way, let's find out what you get inside the box. Let's open it up. Okay, inside the box is your extension cord as well as a 45-watt power adapter. It uses a barrel pin connector, some warranty information, some documentation, and of course setup instructions, which most of you probably don't even need. Now, holding the unit for the first time, it's a nice gold color. It's actually pretty nice. It's actually two-tone. It's really looking good. Really good build quality, especially for the price. Now, this time around, HP did something pretty interesting. They're using something called color blocking, a sophisticated pairing of a color inside and out. Now, there's mineral silver and then there's warm gold. That's the unit I have, and actually looks pretty nice in my opinion. I like the way it looks. And of course, as we always do, let's take a look at the port selection. On the left side, you get one USB-A 3.1. This is data transfer only, a 3.5mm headset jack, a heat vent, a power button with an LED indicator light in the middle letting you know the device is powered on. I like that. And a Noble lock port to lock the device down when you need to. Now, moving over to the right side, you get a hard disk indicator light. That's very unusual. We don't normally see that anymore. A full-size SD card slot, and the cards sit flush with the device. I love that. You also get a USB-C port. Now, this is a data transfer only port. There's no charging on this, so keep that in mind. You get one USB-A 3.1, an HDMI port, finally a power port to charge your device. Now, I really like HP's aggressive pricing when it comes to the Pavilion x360. Now, especially if you're a budget-minded student, you want to save every penny you can. Now, let's take a look at it. Now, Best Buy has two SKUs, one for $499 that gives you the Core i3, but that's a dual-core processor. I don't think I would go with that one. Pay $100 more for $599. You can get the one that I'm reviewing here today. It's the Core i5 8265U. It's a quad-core CPU as opposed to a dual-core CPU. Now, for $300 more at $899, you can go over to HP.com and get one with 12 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, 256 gigabytes of SSD storage. That's a little bit more expensive, and especially if you're a student on a budget, I would stick with that mid-tier one if you can. Save those extra money for books. You're going to need them. Now, the HP Pavilion x360 comes with Windows 10 Home, but if you need Windows 10 Pro, check out today's sponsor for some great deals. Today's video is brought to you by LVL Key, your one-stop shop for Windows 10 professional OEM keys, Microsoft Office keys, game keys, Steam CD keys, and so much more. Okay, here's how it works. Windows 10 Pro, $15.76. With my special 30% discount code just for my audience, you can bring it down to $11.03, which is a steal. Need Microsoft Office 2019? No problem, I got you covered. I have a 25% discount code, which brings it down from $66.05 to $49.54. That's an amazing price. Ordering is easy and safe. Head on over to lvlkey.com for these great savings, and remember to use my discount codes. And I want to thank LVL Key for sponsoring today's video. Now let's talk about the display. What we're looking at here is a 14-inch Full HD IPS multi-touch display. It has a resolution of 1920 by 1080. Now one of the things you're going to notice about this display, although it's a nice display, it's not the brightest display, coming in at 260 nits in terms of brightness. That means it's good for indoor use. You won't have any issues indoors, but outdoors you're going to have some issues because it is also a glossy display. So this is really meant for indoor use. Outdoor use, you're going to have issues, especially in direct sunlight. Now, if you're a student or the average consumer, this definitely will work for you. This display is actually really good for watching Netflix, YouTube, doing productivity work, Microsoft Office, web browsing, email. It will do everything fine for you. You'll have no issues with this display. Now, as far as the side bezels are concerned, they are actually pretty slim, so I'm glad to see that, especially at the $599 price point. You will notice the chin on the bottom and, of course, a space on the top to house the webcam. So this is the front-facing camera on the HP Pavilion x360, a really good choice, I think, for the back-to-school student who's on a budget but doesn't want to compromise all that much. That's because you're getting a nice Core i5 in this, really good quad-core CPU, really good build quality. Now, as far as the camera itself, it's a 720p, 30 frames per second webcam, and let me say this, I've actually seen worse on much more expensive devices. If you've seen any of my reviews, you definitely know what I mean. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. Now, there is a fingerprint scanner located below the cursor keys on the right side, and it worked well, registering my finger pretty much every time I used it. Great for Windows Hello login. Now, they actually put a really nice keyboard on this. It's got some really good key travel, good spacing between the keys, very comfortable to type on, especially for extended periods of time. Good tactile feedback as well. I like that. And there's a multi-stage backlight that allows you to get work done in a dark room or dimly lit environment. That's not something we always see at this price point, so it's good to see a multi-stage backlight on this. And it has a pretty interesting alignment for the home, page up, page down buttons. And I love the fact that HP decided to go with a precision touchpad this time around. A good decision in my opinion. It's very responsive. Two-finger scrolling worked well. All the Windows 10 gestures worked as advertised. Now, of course, this being a convertible laptop, you can put it into the different modes. For instance, you could put it into the tent mode. This is great for recipes in the kitchen, watching media such as Netflix, YouTube, and movies, and the like. It really works well. Now, of course, you could also put it into the stand mode, also great for consuming media. Now, you could put it into the tablet mode. This is great for use with the pen if you want to take some notes, sketch out some artwork. I don't have the pen to test out on this device, but it does have pen support. HP will sell you a pen as a separate accessory. Now, I was able to use it with my Surface Pen, which uses the same N-Trig pen technology. It worked really well. Again, for taking notes, sketching out artwork, there were no issues. Now, one thing to keep in mind, if you're going to be using this as a tablet, it's a bit on the heavy side. So if you're going to be using it for extended periods of time as a tablet, I would use it on a desk or a table. Now, as far as user upgradability, you can do it, but it's not that easy and I wouldn't recommend it. So make sure when you're checking out, get the SKU you want with the most amount of RAM and storage that you'll need. But if you're daring enough to try, you can swap out the SSD and the RAM, although it's very tricky. So I would highly recommend against it, and HP doesn't want you to do it either. They discourage it as well. Now, the unit HP sent over for me to check out has the Core i5-8265U. It's a quad-core CPU, 8th gen from Intel. And of course, we know it is the Whiskey Lake processor, and the performance is actually really good. Now, my unit has 8 GB of DDR4 RAM. Now, it's really good to see DDR4 RAM as opposed to DDR3, so I like that. And speaking of the SSD, decent reads and writes, not the fastest I've ever seen, so something to keep in mind, but definitely usable, definitely doable as far as this laptop is concerned. Now, as far as the multi-core score of the Geekbench 4 and the single-core score, you see how it did, as well as on the OpenCL with those built-in HD Graphics 620. Now, on the Cinebench, it did okay, as well as on the PC Mark test, which is a good indication of everyday use. Bottom line, this is a great productivity machine if you're going to be using Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, consuming media, watching Netflix, YouTube, and the like. This will get the job done. Now, I know a lot of you are going to want to game, especially students when you have some free time, and this is not the best gaming laptop. Of course, this is not a dedicated gaming laptop, but you can play some of the older titles if you lower the settings, and you will get some playable frame rates. But more modern titles that require more intense graphics, this is not really for that, so I think you already know that. But for the occasional game here and there, you can play them. And I thought the Pavilion x360 did well when it comes to thermals, never getting above 91 degrees Fahrenheit or 32.8 degrees Celsius, which is well within the threshold that we'd like to see. Good job in terms of the cooling. Now you will hear the fan kick in under heavy load, although it's not too loud and it wasn't too distracting, so that's good. Okay, by now you're probably wondering, well, how's the battery life? Well, this sports a 3-cell 41 watt-hour battery, which I'd say is average for this type of device. And it did 6 hours and 11 minutes on my continuous web surfing test over Wi-Fi at 150 nits, which I'd say wouldn't get you obviously quite through an all day, but it was not terrible either. Now they do supply you with a 45 watt power adapter in the box that gives you 55% in 1 hour and 1 hour and 56 minutes for a full charge, which actually is pretty good. It's not bad. Now unfortunately you can't charge via USB-C. Kind of wish it did have it, but I understand they're trying to keep the price as low as possible for the consumer, so they decided not to put in charging via the USB-C port. Now, one of the big surprises of this device is the fact that it has some really good sound from the HP Audio Boost. Their B&O speakers or Bang & Olufsen speakers, and they sound really good. The volume was good. The sound was pretty rich. Considering this is $599, I was actually surprised at how good the sound was on this. Solid job. So to bring it all home, can I recommend the HP Pavilion x360? Is it worth your hard-earned money? And the answer is absolutely. This is an excellent choice for those going back to school, for those that are looking for a strong performer with really good build quality, solid keyboard, really good precision touchpad. The fact that you can use it as a tablet with the pen to take notes in a classroom makes this a winner. Now there are a couple of things that I'm really not crazy about. The relatively dim display is one of them. The fact that you're only getting average battery life, and it's a little bit on the heavy side for a convertible. But at $599, this is an excellent deal, great price to performance ratio, and an excellent choice for those going back to school. So what do you think about this bad boy, the HP Pavilion x360? I really like it. It's a good choice for those going back to school, good choice for a student, good choice for the average consumer. I like what it brings to the table. Really excellent build quality from HP, really good display, although I wish it was a little bit brighter, but not a deal breaker nonetheless. Average battery life is the thing that might be holding some of you back, but then again, at $599, we're not expecting groundbreaking battery life. This will definitely give you a good solid 6 hours. It charges pretty fast with the included 45 watt power adapter. I love the fact that it has pen support. If you want to take some notes in a class, if you want to sketch out some artwork, this has that versatility. And speaking of versatility, I love the fact that you can flip it into the different modes, whether it be stand mode, whether it be tablet mode, tent mode, or even, of course, laptop mode. That's the way I use it most of the time anyway. At $599, this is an excellent deal in my opinion, especially because you're not compromising all that much. You're getting that quad-core CPU, the Core i5-8265U. Performance was very good on this. Thermals were very good on this. This is an all-around great convertible laptop choice. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comments section below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and of course my website, AMDtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMDtech. See ya. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is my review of the